Yes, ready to go.
Are we good to go?
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Newlife Expo live in New York City and virtual. And our first speaker today is the one and only Phil Wilson, who's been with us for over 30 years. And he is a developer of the far infrared sauna. This is the sauna that can get rid of all viruses, get rid of all those bones that ache, the muscles that ache, get rid of illness. But Phil will tell you more about it, about his far infrared saunas. And if you don't have one, go to someone's house that does have one, or you can get one and then go to your house. So Phil, take it away.
Okay, is there a title talk that I have?
The title, what is his title talk?
So I can harmonize with that.
Yeah, well, I think it's always it is healing power and spiritual benefits of far infrared saunas. So we're going to heal body, mind, and spirit today.
That's right, exactly, right.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. It's nice to be here. I've been, well, first of all, from a spiritual perspective, I had an out-of-body experience in 1970. I didn't know I had one. All I knew is that my life was changing. I had a realization at the time, as that's how I experienced it. I had to get involved in music, art, and dance. I was too left brain. I needed to become more balanced. And so I was on a pilgrimage, you could say, that I didn't know I was on. About 3 years later, I realized that these three beings took me out of my body and showed me the overhang of about 6 indoor handball courts, where in one section people were doing art, another section music, another section dance, and they were telling me that I needed to get involved in music, art, and dance. So that I did. I finished my degree at Indiana University in mathematics. I was pretty smart in math. I had an honors degree. And I went to graduate school at Ohio State University 3-4 months later, or actually it was about 7 months later. Then after getting involved and slowly my diet started changing. I was just a normal diet of meat and knew nothing about holistic health, nothing about awareness. And so it's a transformation that happens with each individual on the planet when they're called, when something happens, and they are drawn into to their mission, their fulfillment, what gives them fulfillment. And so later on, I had a Kundalini experience, and that was abrupt, and so I think I ate meat about 3 days later, and oh my gosh, I was like comatose for 6, 7, 8 hours. I had started meditating on my own. It just started happening because there was nothing else I wanted to do. Once you have an out-of-body experience, nothing else is fulfilling on the planet except, reconnecting and becoming more free. So my mission has since then very, very clearly been to become free. Then, I got into holistic health, fasting, etc. I want to be brief with this because we want to start talking about the far infrared saunas and the healing properties. But basically, if you have a desire to become free, and that is your modus operandi, and it's in all of us. I think when we're born, it's our mission to reunite. With freedom comes wisdom. With wisdom comes freedom. They're interconnected, and that puts us in the space where we can love and we can accept love. Accepting love sometimes is harder than being able to give love. It's real easy to give love, but to be able to actually accept love, that's humility, and to do it in the right way. Well, I opened up a health food store in 1980 and a distributing company to selling to health food stores, green foods, medicinal mushrooms, spirulina, chlorella, blue-green algae, all these things followed, massage tools. inversion machines, rebounders, and I started going to the Whole Life Expo in 1982, 83, before it was called the Newlife Expo. This is the predecessor to Mark, starting I think in 88, 89, 90. And so I've been going to these Whole Life Expos for a long, long time. I was originally selling massage tools, and there was a time we had a whole van full of herbs and all that stuff. So the pinnacle of all the products I've ever sold in my life is the Relax Far Infrared Sauna. And the since my modus operandi is to unfold spiritually, to connect, to become free, and in the sense to be a vehicle for spirit, so that when I come into contact with others, that I can get into that space or time where I'm connected, and where whatever they need to hear can come through me. And that's my goal, to be a clear vehicle, so that, and it is magical. And I just have to be honored and amazed at how my body comes into the right place at the right time to give people a message that's helpful to them. And of course, I get it myself all the time. I'm always getting messages that I hear, not necessarily in words, but just, in connection and in the freedom. So I started using a far infrared sauna about 2001. I used one for a year. It was great. It was sort of like an Amazon sauna. It took too long to get hot in the chair. So it was just a camping chair, and it wasn't comfortable. So I took it out and I would sit on the floor, and it had panels around it. This is not the Relax sauna. This is one of the Amazon saunas. And I had a good time in it. It would take me about 18 minutes to start sweating. It would take me about 55 minutes to get a good sweat. And like many of the people who rave about the Amazon saunas, I was very enthusiastic about it. I loved it. It was great. I mean, the fact that you could have a far infrared sauna in your home, oh my gosh. Now, Hippocrates, he's the father of modern medicine, and he is famous for saying, above all, do no harm. And people who are medical doctors take the Hippocratic oath, which is, above all, do no harm. And oh my gosh, this world has, there is so much harm done by hospitals and medical doctors and the pharmaceutical industry right now. It is almost hard to comprehend, but and that's another story that we can go into maybe in the questions. About a year later, after using the Relax sauna, and I sold 6 of them that year, because when I buy products for myself, I had a health food store. I would, sell them to people, and we sold a whole 6 in that first year, basically 2001. I got a phone call from Taiwan, where the Relax sauna, far infrared sauna, is made, and they said, "Hey, our technology is a little bit more advanced. It's very different from many of the other saunas. We use semiconductor chips. We don't use carbon panels. We don't use the ceramic. They're way back when I first started promoting the Relax Far Infrared Sauna. They said that there's either ceramic and carbon, and they would fight among each other which is the best. And some people said, well, we'll do both. And I don't quite understand exactly all the details of it, but the carbon panels in all the portable saunas only generate between 20 and 36% of the specific frequency of light that far infrared is all about. Now, Hippocrates had a dream. At least that's what I said. He made a statement: find me a way to create sweat, and I will, or fever, and I will cure disease. And that's crucial. That's crucial to what we're talking about, because we have the finished saunas, and I can go into the history of saunas, and I can go into far infrared ray energy, and I will. What far infrared energy is? Well, you have the sun. The sun generates all sorts of light. It generates visible light that we can see with our eyes. It generates infrared light that snakes can see with their receptors. I'm not sure what the receptor is, but they can see the light, and they would kill mice and prey at night when there's no light, because it could see the far infrared light. And there are machines that do thermography. It's infrared light. I'm at right now I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, attending a conference, the Truth About Cancer. And one of the speakers, the keynote speaker yesterday morning, said she had cancer, and she used infrared therapy all the time, and that was crucial. And she must have mentioned it 3 times. I think she was using one of the wood far infrared saunas, and they're great machines. They're not as effective as a relaxed sauna, but they do the job. And a lady doctor named Dr. Sherry Rogers wrote a book called Detoxify or Die in 2001, 2002. She's an environmental medical doctor, and she has been using far infrared saunas for, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. At that time, with people who were multi-chemical sensitivity, were pretty much on their deathbed and were given up by conventional doctors, and they eventually made their way to her as an environmental medical doctor. And she was using a far infrared sauna, and there's research on far infrared saunas going back to probably the 1960s in Japan and Germany. And there's probably 50 to 60 research articles on whatever the websites are, the medical doctor websites, that talk about the research on far infrared saunas. And she had great success. And the whole book, Detoxify or Die, I do have it with me. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, I was able to get all 3 of the books that I like to show. This one is called Detoxify or Die. There's a picture of Dr. Sherry Rogers. I think it's backwards to you. Anyway, that's great. I should, in the future, I think I'm going to find a mirror contraption that lets it show where you can see it the real way. But this is a classic book. And when I do shows, I've been demonstrating the relaxed sauna to over 100,000 people in the last 19 years at about 400 professional and other conferences like the Newlife Expo. And so many people bring this book, and oh my gosh, it's like the books are like tattered and torn, and they call it their Bible because it's helped them so much. But far infrared energy comes from the sun, as does microwave energy, X-rays, gamma rays, ultraviolet energy. Now, ultraviolet is on the other side of violet, and infrared light is on the other side of red, as is microwave energy. Microwave energy is the evil EMF that they talk about. A lot of people lump in the ultraviolet and the infrared energy and as sort of like being almost dangerous, but they're not. Well, everything, all wavelengths, and again, anything in excess, we want to be balanced. Buddha had it together when he said, I forget what he said, but the middle way. And it's in all religious, spiritual teachings that one of my favorite sayings is a quote by Paul Twitchell. It says, being for or against anything exiles you from the God consciousness state. Now, to translate that into today English, being for or against anything locks you into duality. And so when you're locked into duality, you're not connected, and you're exiled from, at that moment, from the God consciousness state or the present moment. And so the balance of learning to live in the moment, and actually I was given, when I was meditating in 1997, momentum, taking advantage of the moment, propelling yourself into greatness. So taking advantage of the moment means you're living in the moment and you're listening. You're always listening to that connecting sound current within yourself, the audible life stream, the Bani, whatever you want to call the spirit, or that substance that connects you with source, that water from whence you drink. You never need to drink again, or never need to thirst again. So you want to always be connected to that energy. Now, so being for or against anything exiles you from the God consciousness. So the path of neutrality is very, very important. Whenever you catch yourself judging something, then you're against something, and so you want to switch the judge switch off and switch the observe switch on. And observe comes from the word serve. So when you're observing, you're serving it. So when you go into the relaxed sauna, the far infrared sauna energy, I call the far infrared energy the loving light of the sun. Now, the far infrared energy is absorbed into the body. When you go out into the hot sun and you just hang out there and you close your eyes, you can feel the deep, penetrating warmth go into your body, to the bones, and it just feels so great. It just feels so great. I've always been a sun lover. I've always loved being in the sun. Now, the hot that you feel on your skin that does not go through clothes, that's the ultraviolet light. If you walk on hot sand or hot concrete or black asphalt, and it's very, very hot, that's the ultraviolet light getting the surface hot. But the ultraviolet is not able to penetrate into the body, nor, I guess, into the concrete. However, the far infrared energy does penetrate. It does penetrate the body. And we know this through observation. We know this through observation that it penetrates our body, because we can feel so warm to the bone. Now, whether you're wearing clothes or not, the far infrared energy goes to the clothes. Now, miraculously, turtle eggs are able to hatch. Chickens lie on the eggs and generate far infrared energy and resonate with the water molecules in the chicken eggs, and that gets them to the hatch. Now, the far infrared light from the sun goes through the sand 2 inches, resonates with the water in turtle eggs, and activates the turtle embryo to grow into a turtle. And this is how they hatch. And most people have never really thought about this, but this is how and why they hatch. Now, there's a man named Dr. Gerald Pollack. He wrote the book, The Fourth Phase of Water. And I've seen a lot of his videos on YouTube. And he talks about the fourth phase of water is like a gel-like substance between ice and liquid water. And he calls it easy water, or exclusion zone water, because nothing can be dissolved. It's pure water. And he's given demonstrations on it. And now one day, one of his laboratory assistants shined a light on the water, and oh my gosh, the exclusion zone water, or the easy water, or the fourth phase of water, amount of it was multiplied greatly. And then they found out through further research that it was the far infrared light that expanded it the most. And this is in harmony with the history of far infrared saunas. Now, far infrared saunas are not saunas. And most people are sort of like, what? A far infrared sauna is not a sauna? Well, a sauna works with heat. And you have the great Finnish saunas, which is, there's a lot of research on the benefits of Finnish saunas, including a recent research about a year ago saying that Finnish saunas are very, very healthy for pregnant women, which is really nice to hear, because there's so much stuff you hear, and believing stuff is that we think that when we hear something, we're supposed to believe it. And the whole world is awakening to, I mean, the old saying was, well, I know it's true. I read it in a book. or I know it's true. I saw it on Facebook. It has to be true. But it's and to believe or not to believe, that's the beautiful. And frankly, I don't believe anything anymore. And I've said this for over 10 years. And there's nothing I don't believe. Right? There's nothing I believe, and there's nothing I don't believe. And I'm willing to believe anything, and I'm willing to not believe anything. And I think it's really healthy to realize, unless you've experienced it and observed it and know through your experience, then it's just a belief. And beliefs are really just a form of a lie, because when you spell belief, it's BELIEF, and every belief or every statement is either true or false. Or frankly, that's not even true. Uh, there's, it's not whether something is true or false; it's how it is true, and that's something that we all have to get over this black and white. And remember, there are about 50 shades of gray, and it's not whether something is true or false; it's whether it uplifts you. Because time and space are just, they're not real. We use them to experience. We mock it up. Uh, there is no time and space, and we exist, and we have always existed outside of time and space. When we are in the now, in the eternal now, when we're in the now, when we're in the moment, we have accessible to us anything and everything. The ultraviolet light gets us a suntan, and it's not in harmony with the cells of our body, and we normally resist it. And when we resist something, that can cause friction, and that can cause suntan and sunburn. The far infrared light, as I said, penetrates our body and is very, very magical. Now, and it also, according to Dr. Gerald Pollack, it gives the plant the power to move and to bend. And this is really, really exciting, because this is what photosynthesis is all about. Again, photosynthesis. Okay, it's the photon. The photons is light energies. And if you saw What the Bleep Do You Know, they say that a particle and a wave actually are different. Like yeast will change into different forms. And so light, energy, and physical matter, because energy, Einstein said energy, MC, whatever it is. Sometimes I'm not able to easily access information, because I'm in the moment and it's not important. But it's there, and I know what it is. E = mc squared. The speed of light squared times the mass is equal to the energy. But that it's hard for me to relate to, and probably most people to relate to. Essentially, it is that we are energy light beings. We are far infrared light beings, as it turns out. Water is a far infrared molecule. The vibration or the frequency of water, or the wavelength of water, is 8 microns. And that's important to remember. The vibration of the frequency or the wavelength of humans, mammals, and birds is almost the same, because we're about 99% water. We have a lot of other stuff in our bodies. And so we vibrate at 9.4 microns. Now, the red, on the other hand, is about 7.79 microns. Violet is about 0.48 microns. So when I like to say, well, if red is 0.79 microns and water is 8 microns, then the wavelength of water is about 10 times the wavelength of red. Now, once we're finished looking at red, I mean, we only can see between violet and red frequencies, and we call them, and we can see them as colors. But then we cannot see ultraviolet; it's invisible to us. Gamma rays, X-rays, radio waves, microwaves, far infrared. We can't see any of those wavelengths with our visible eyes, but the wavelength is still there. And believe it or not, far infrared energy, even though it's invisible, is reflected by a mirror. And that's important to understand how the relaxed sauna works, because it uses the silver tent as a mirror to reflect the light. it's important to realize that cats lie in the sun and not in the shade. And there's a reason for that, because they absorb the far infrared light just as we do. Now, about many, many years ago, the Relaxed Far Infrared Sauna company in Taiwan was asked by a Japanese company, can you create hot springs energy where people go to get healed? It's something like Lourdes, but they have the hot springs in southern Japan where people would go. There's a magical energy around there. It's very, very high in far infrared ray, I presume. So the Relaxed Sauna company, it took 10 years, and they finally found a way to get electricity to come out of whatever, a machine, and they were able to filter out all the frequencies, all the wavelengths did not resonate with the water molecules in your body. And again, we're going to come back to Hippocrates. Find me a way to create sweat or fever, and I will cure disease. Now, far infrared saunas, I mentioned, are not saunas any more than a prairie dog is not a dog, a sea lion is not a lion, and a seahorse is not a horse, and a koala bear is also not a bear. However, far infrared saunas is a great name for the energy devices that generate a frequency of light that resonates with your water molecules, because far infrared light causes you between 4 and 14 micron, because it's close enough to 8. If you vibrated 8 and I give you a 4 or a 14, it's close enough. In astrology, we would say it's conjunct. And so what it does, and Pythagoras said, everything is vibration, everything is number. So when we send off this vibration rate that's the same as water, what it does, and this is all it does, all of far infrared energy between 4 and 14 microns, all it does one thing. It resonates with the water molecules in your body. And that's important to understand. Okay, so if you're in front of this generator, whether it be any kind of sauna, now the wooden sauna is generally about 42% or maybe as much as 50 or 55% of the energy coming out of the wooden far infrared saunas. About 42% of that frequency of that energy of the 1,000 watts or whatever, 42% of that energy actually resonates with your water molecules. And there, so it's a certain amount of strength, and then your water molecules start resonating. And the portable saunas, the Amazon saunas, I call them, that have the plastic, corrugated plastic that holds up the tent, and they have the panels, the carbon panels. They come from China. They're generic, and there's, I don't know how many different companies make them, but they're all pretty much the same. And they're around 20% of that energy actually is far infrared between 4 and 14 that resonates with your water molecules. And they're usually 900 to 1,000 watts as well. Now, the relaxed far infrared sauna generator using semiconductor chips, which filter out and give you only the 4 to 14, we have 95 to 98% of that energy actually is far infrared energy that resonates with the water molecules. And I define that frequency, that band of wavelengths between 4 and 14, I call that the loving light of the sun, or simply the loving light. And so the more loving light you have coming out of a generator or a radiator or an emitter, which resonates with your water molecules, the more powerful is the resonation. Now, when all your water molecules are vibrating, pulsating, and rotating, and all that kind of stuff, that's like, it's going to get hot. Like 100 people in a small room dancing, it gets hot. So when you have all this vibration in your body gets hot, and that's what we call an increase in temperature, or what Hippocrates calls a fever. So the relaxed sauna, according to research on by this man in 2017, not 1917, February of 2017 on reddit.com. It's like a review of the relaxed sauna. He was also into cryotherapy as well. And he was trying to get a far infrared sauna that would do what the research says it would do. There's certain heart rate variability tests that you can perform, like because far infrared energy, according to the research, reduces high blood pressure tremendously. You know, the Mayo Clinic recommends far infrared saunas for all their heart patients, according to an article in 2004, saying that regular saunas, heart patients should not get into regular saunas or hot tubs because the outside of the body gets too hot and the inside of the body stays the same pretty much. However, the far infrared sauna is extremely therapeutic because of what the energy does. If you look at all the research on what far infrared saunas can do, it goes on and on and on. It's one of the best things for Lyme disease, one of the best things for getting rid of any kind of detoxing. As a matter of fact, when the relaxed sauna energy goes in and resonates with the water molecules, that's going to increase your body temperature. According to this one man in the review, 3 degrees in 25 minutes, 3 degrees. And he before he got the relaxed sauna, he bought a $250 and then a $500 Amazon sauna. And he was extremely disappointed because they only increased the body temperature 0.5 degree, and the heart rate variability test he performed, they totally failed, to his disappointment. So he got the relaxed sauna, and not only, like I said, it increased the body temperature 3 degrees, and all the heart rate variability tests he performed on it, it exceeded what the research said it would do. So he was, rather excited. And when he was writing this report, he was getting excited about the relaxed sauna, but he also says, I'm really disappointed that I can't tell you that the other saunas are as good, because they really aren't. And that if you want to do hyperthermia or heat stress, create heat shock proteins and create heat stress, which is, we want to get out of our comfortableness if we want to grow spiritually or on any level. We have to be willing to be accept uncomfortability as a ways to grow. So he mentioned that that if you want to do hyperthermic training, that the relaxed sauna is pretty much the only sauna that is viable for the portable saunas. Then we have Rebecca Harder, and she wrote this book. And again, this is going to come out backwards also. The name of the book is called Gastro Girl. It's lots of pages. She has 17 pages on far infrared energy in here, including 12 pages on the relaxed sauna. Rebecca owns a colon hydrotherapy clinic in Portland, Oregon. She owns a hyperbaric oxygen chamber clinic or store or spa in Taos, New Mexico. She has been promoting far infrared saunas, the infrared saunas, the wooden ones, for 15 years, and 10 years at the time when she finally said, okay, every time she'd pass by the relaxed sauna at conferences, she just would keep on walking, turn her nose. I have a sauna. I've got a great wooden sauna. That certainly couldn't be as good as my sauna. But she got in it, and after 3 minutes, wow, she could feel the difference. And she has helped us sell about 150 saunas in the last 5 years by promoting the relaxed sauna. And this book I showed you, Gastro Girl, is a compendium of dozens of articles about ozone, about castor oil, about rebounding, about far infrared energy, about hyperbaric oxygen, and so many, and of course on colonics, and so many, in certain herbal formulas or whatever. It's a great, and it's a great book. They can get it at the Momentum 98. Well, actually at the relaxsaunas.com website, relaxsaunas with an s.com, you can order the book. It's an excellent book, and she highly recommends the relaxed sauna, and says, frankly, it's the most therapeutic sauna there is, even though it's certainly not the most expensive one, and it's certainly not the nicest looking one, and it doesn't have that spa-like feeling, and she understands your gut reaction. But if you really want great therapy, the relaxed sauna is very, very effective. Now we've been going to the Newlife Expo for all these years, and some of my best testimonials on not just the fact that the arthritis went away or the elbow pain I'd had for a year went away after one session, or the fibromyalgia, went from an 8 to a 2, or the arthritis pain from a 12 to a 0, or from an 8 to a 4. I usually say that if you have any kind of pain or chronic pain, whether it's from a sports injury, you can get rid of half that pain in 5-7 minutes. And that's because in the relaxed sauna, there is like 20 seconds to preheat, not 20, 30, 40 minutes. And it works quite well. The far infrared energy penetrates your body, resonates with the water molecules, and causes an increase in body temperature. And that's the main of what I'm speaking here right now. I will say right now that the far infrared energy causes your body temperature to increase. That's the dream of Hippocrates. So what happens when we have a fever? And this is the goal to me of any infrared sauna, of any far infrared sauna. The difference is that the relaxed sauna is a far infrared sauna because over 95% of the energy is far infrared ray between 4 and 14 microns. The other saunas they call them full spectrum or infrared, and that's because they don't have enough far infrared ray. There's a man named Matt Justice who gives a lot of talks on saunas over the internet, and he says the more far infrared you have in your sauna, the more effective it's going to be. And that's probably why the relaxed sauna is probably the most effective sauna, because it does have 1,500 watts of 95, 98% pure loving light. And it's the loving light that causes the body temperature to increase. Now, when you increase your body temperature, that's going to detoxify you. That's what a fever does. You want to detox the body. You want to get rid of heavy metals, the mercury, the lead, the cadmium, the arsenic, and all that stuff. You want to get rid of the dioxins, the chlorine, the bleach, that interferes with your body functioning well. You want to get rid of glyphosates, pesticides, chemicals, preservatives, hormones, drugs, all sorts of gunk that's in your body that you can't almost, the air you breathe, cigarette smoke, the pollution from cars and gasoline smell, just being in an airplane, being in the vibration rate. You want to get over the ill effects of Wi-Fi, of microwave cell phones, of 5G or even the 4G, any kind of Wi-Fi, all this electrical energy interference. You want out of the air, you have the pollution, you have the glyphosates and the chemicals that's out of the, and you have the chlorine and the fluorine in the water. So the air pollution, water pollution, earth pollution, and fire pollution or electromagnetic frequencies. All this stuff is detoxed from the body through getting a very, very strong immune system. That the whole immune system in the lymphatic system, which is pretty much the same thing, is mobilized by the vibration, the increase, and it's like a stagnant pond is a breeding ground for mosquitoes. And similarly, you have stagnant areas of your body, and that's a breeding ground for mold and bacteria. So the increase in body temperature, the heat, also what it does, it gets the water cells to get smaller. They vibrate. So the angle between the hydrogen, between the two hydrogens and the oxygen, the H2O, that angle gets smaller, and that causes the water cells to get smaller, and that causes the vessels to dilate. So there's more space inside the vessels. The blood cells are smaller because the blood cells get smaller because the water molecules get smaller. So instead of having semis going through a highway, you're having motorcycles go through, so they're going to be able to go a lot faster. So you're going to increase the microcirculation and the circulation of the body. And that's really crucial to getting rid of stagnant areas, to push and to cleanse the body. It's like the relaxed sauna works like a washing machine. A washing machine uses water to clean clothes, and every fiber of every piece of clothing you put in the washing machine is washed from the inside and the outside. The far infrared energy is light energy, and it cleans the body physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And so when I go to the Newlife Expo, people say, oh my gosh, I feel like creative. I feel there's a certain kind of joy that I experience. And I'm creative, and they can feel the energy because it's connecting them. And the third thing that far infrared energy does is, it's appropriate for to say this now, is that the parasympathetic nervous system is the most wonderful system we have in the body, because it gets, when it's activated, and that's what far infrared light does, and this is what the relaxed sauna appears to do more than any other sauna. One lady, she tried the relaxed sauna at a conference, a medical conference on mental health about 5 years ago. She got in the relaxed sauna for 30 minutes in her bathing suit, got out, came back, had a wonderful sweat, used 2 towels, and came back and said, I cannot believe how good I feel. And I wanted to let you know that after 8 to 10 minutes, I experienced the most profound, deepest sense of relaxation I've ever had in my life. And so many people have told me, how do you feel? Relaxed. How do you feel? Relaxed. How do you feel? Relaxed. I said, oh my gosh, that's why they call it the relaxed sauna. So the relaxed sauna, basically, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and it also gets the mitochondria create ATP and nitric oxide, so you feel energized and relaxed. But this incredible sense of relaxation, this incredible attunement you have with the spiritual essence of that which you are, of getting you in the moment, to get out of all the stress and anxiety, to get all that to go away, and to get out of the flight and fight mode, but to really be in the parasympathetic nervous system, to really be in the now. That's the magic, the super magic that is caused by the increase in body temperature. It, again, 1, it mobilizes the lymphatic system. 2, it increases the microcirculation, which gets rid of pain and inflammation and helps neuropathy, helps repairing scar tissue. And then 3, the parasympathetic nervous system being activated, which gets rid of the stress, gets you in the now, gets you relaxed, gets you be able to function. And 4, to be able to get the mitochondria to create ATP and nitric oxide, you feel revitalized. You want to detox, you want to get rid of pain and inflammation, you want to get super relaxed, you want to get energized. And people come out of the relaxed sauna and says, what the hell is going on? I feel relaxed and energized at the same time. This isn't supposed to happen, but actually this is the way it's supposed to be when you're truly balanced and living the spiritual life and tuned in to the moment and connected. Being connected to that which you are, which is not your body, not your mind, not your emotions, but that which you are, which has always been around outside of time and space. And if you go to relaxsaunas.com, Newlife, relaxsaunas.com, Newlife. I think we're having a show special. I think it's 125 off, maybe 150 off. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but it's on relaxsaunas.com/Newlife. A couple other pages you may want to go to, relaxsaunas.com/superior, or simply go to relaxsaunas.com. And then there's spiritualsauna.com. I think that's what it is. I'll make sure that there's a connection on relaxsaunas.com, Newlife, to the spiritual sauna website. And we have a lot of videos from ladies that she was in British Columbia at a conference. We did a psychology conference. She says, instantly my heart chakra was activated. I felt, oh my gosh. It's hard to remember, but she felt balanced. She felt something had warmed her heart. And it was like instant from being in the relaxed sauna. And again, a number of the vendors at the Newlife Expo have gotten in the relaxed sauna and some of the readers and said, oh my God, I feel that there's something really special in here. Again, I can't do it justice.
Well, I have the relaxed sauna, as you know,
Yes.
and for me, I'll tell you what happens is, number one, of course, you feel relaxed. That goes without saying. And it's just my muscles and my joints feel a lot better. And so that's pretty important, because as we age and get smarter, we realize that we have to do things, especially when we wake up in the morning and things aren't as limber as they used to be. So I find that that's great. So we're gonna kind of end this talk, and Phil will one more time tell you how to get in touch with him, how to get a discount using Newlife, and throughout the day he'll come back. So stay tuned for Phil, because he is a storehouse of wisdom.
Great. The mental clarity is one of the very, very important things. I'm trying to look up the code right now. I think it's Newlife 6, and I think that's and I'll have that in a second. The code here. Newlife 6 will give you $125 off. Newlife 6. That will give you $125 off the Relax Sauna at relaxsaunas.com. My cell phone, I'm still accessible right now. You're welcome to call me, 626-200-8454.
Okay, no, I'm gonna put that in there now. 626
200
200
8454.
8454. Okay, so everybody online, jump on those phones. It's like a telethon. If you want that 125 off, go for it.
Well, you can go to the website, relaxsaunas.com, and go and research those other whatevers. And I think you'll be, if you try the Relax Sauna, we have over 800 video testimonies on YouTube. And I've been promoting the Relax Sauna for 19 years at conferences. And we have a lot of very famous holistic doctors in the center of what's going on with everything in life, vaccines and everything. There are many, many people who say the Relax Sauna will nip a cold or flu in the bud. And it's one of the greatest treasures that they have ever purchased for their health. And many doctors have told us this.
And as the old saying goes, you get what you pay for.
The Relax Sauna is a high quality device made in Taiwan. And we've been promoting it for 19 years now. And the company's 42 years old. So we're not fly by night.
Well, thank you, Phil. We'll see you later.
Oh, great. Thanks.
You're welcome. So everybody stay tuned, because in this room, 11:30 is Donna McGrath, The Miracles of Body Healing. She is awesome. And in the Kips Bay room, which you can go down to the bottom of your screen where it says breakout rooms and go to the Kips Bay room, it's Lynette Hall talking about herbal teas for healing. So either way, you're going to learn more how to heal. And you'll see how like Donna does her miraculous healings. And Lynette has created these different teas, not especially, but the latest one is for men's sexuality. So women, you should buy it for your man. And I'll be back soon.